What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode where we're going to talk about a new, complex phishing method that lets attackers bypass multi-factor authentication by basically having you access the legitimate website you're trying to log into through a remote machine. Now, you don't see the remote machine you're accessing, you only see the website you're trying to access. If you remember, just a few days ago, we were talking about how attackers were using virtual meeting platforms to con company employees into wiring tons of funds to the attackers' bank accounts. Yes, tons of funds. 2021 BEC cost $1.8 billion. That's big money, so you know, crime pays. We also talked in the not-so-recent past about attackers using reverse proxies in the browser to capture your multi-factor authentication. Now, if you missed the episode on attackers using virtual meeting platforms, and you should definitely watch it, the link to that is above. The link to the reverse proxy episode is here. Now, in this episode, we're going to look at how this attack works. They're using the legit website, like your Chase Bank account or your day trading website login, so it's not a fake phishing website, and your browser can't really help you much. Now, I hope you watch a full episode, but if not, you can now skip directly to my insights at the end of the episode, right from the timeline below. For the rest of you, let's go through the story together and see what we can learn to protect ourselves and others.
Oh, drat these computers. They're so naughty and so complex. I could pinch them.
Even if threat actors can convince users to enter their credentials on a phishing site, if multi-factor authentication protects the account, fully compromising the account still requires the one-time passcode sent to the victim. To gain access to a target's multi-factor authenticated protected accounts, phishing kits have been updated to use reverse proxies or other methods to collect multi-factor authentication codes from unwitting victims. While conducting a penetration test for a customer, security researcher Mr. Dox attempted to create a phishing attack on the client's employees to gain corporate account credentials. As the accounts were all configured with multi-factor authentication, Mr. Dox set up a phishing attack using the evil GINX2 attack framework that acts as a reverse proxy to steal credentials and multi-factor authentication codes. When conducting the test, the researcher found that Google prevented logins when detecting reverse proxies or man-in-the-middle attacks. Mr. Dox told Bleeping Computer that this was a new security feature added to Google in 2019, specifically to prevent these types of attacks. Congratulations, you're doing a great job by wanting to learn about this new devious phishing technique to steal your credentials, your money, and other information. I appreciate your support by watching this episode about it. If you are new to my channel and have not already, please consider subscribing to my channel and smashing the bell to be notified when I upload new episodes where I give you insights into the newest important cybersecurity news stories like this one. With my insights, you can be better prepared to protect your company, your family, and yourself against these and other cyber attacks. So, hit the subscribe button now and let's continue to learn about this story together. Mr. Dox also told Bleeping Computer that websites, such as LinkedIn, detect man-in-the-middle attacks and deactivate accounts after successful logins. To overcome this obstacle, Mr. Dox came up with a devious new phishing technique that uses the NoVNC remote access software and browsers running in kiosk mode to display email login prompts running on the attacker's server but shown in the victim's browser. However, a program called NoVNC allows users to connect to a VNC server directly from within a browser by simply clicking a link, which is when the researchers' new phishing technique comes into play. So how do we use NoVNC to steal credentials and bypass two-factor authentication? Well, you set up a server with NoVNC, you run Firefox or any other browser in kiosk mode, and you head to the website you'd like the user to authenticate to, like accounts.google.com. Explains a new report by Mr. Dox on his new phishing technique. Since the attacker's VNC server is configured to run a browser in kiosk mode, which runs the browser in full screen mode, when the victim clicks on a link, they will simply see a login screen for the targeted email service and log in as normal. However, as the login prompt is actually being displayed by the attacker's VNC server, all login attempts will happen directly on the remote server. Mr. Dox told Bleeping Computer that once a user logs into the account, an attacker can use various tools to steal credentials and security tokens. As VNC allows multiple people to monitor the same session, An attacker could disconnect the victim session after the account was logged in and connect to the same session later to access the account and all its email. While this attack has not been seen used in real-world attacks yet, researchers told Bleeping Computer that he believes attackers will use it in the very near future. So, what can we learn? I think by now our collective minds share the vision, how complex these attacks are getting. The browser seems like a black box. We trust it out of blindness because most people have no idea how it works. We have limited visual tools or metrics to see if we are on the right page or if a site is secure. But the depth of a simple browser gives attackers a plethora, yes, I said plethora, of ways to perform an attack. Now, the simplest way to contact you and start this process is still one of the oldest digital ways, which is email. That's where it often starts. It starts with an email, with a link for you to log in. Your account has been accessed by an unauthenticated person. Click here to change your password, or your bank this or your bank that. It doesn't matter if you're some retired cybersecurity expert or a rock star who smashes guitars. You are affected by these new complex ways of getting at your most private information. Now, when it comes to the actual reverse proxy method we discussed in a previous episode as well as earlier on in this episode, luckily Google Chrome has added some security features in 2019 to help with the reverse proxy method. But not all browsers are created equal in their security tools, and even Google Chrome has had a number of other zero-day vulnerabilities and exploits alone in 2022. So how can you stay safe? Well, you can protect yourself from these types of attacks by following all the usual phishing email advice. It all remains the same. Awareness, 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 education, education, education. Do not click on URLs from unknown senders, or really any link to an important service like your bank, credit cards, trading firms, crypto wallets, blah, blah, blah. Never click on those links in emails to any of those types of services. You want to save the website as a bookmark and only visit them that way. You also want to inspect embedded links for unusual domains. I mean, it just goes without saying, gargle.com is not google.com. And you want to treat all email as suspicious, especially when it prompts you to log into your account. Do a double take, check the domain, check the link, check for any misspellings. You don't just want to quickly flash to panic that somebody tried to access your account and then click on a link in an email and then go and change your password. Take the bookmark route or type it directly into your browser, but even there, with panic you might type it in wrong. Take the time to set up some bookmarks to your most important websites, whether it be Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, or your bank, your credit cards, your crypto wallets, etc. With that, I say thanks again for watching. Don't forget to share and subscribe if you haven't already, and smash the bell if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.
Don't forget to run!